My three nephews broke into my shed and stole $200 worth of soda cans, and now I'm gonna take revenge. This happened yesterday. When I came home from work, I noticed my shed door was open, and the padlock that I used to keep it shut was broken. I had a lot of bags full of soda cans in there. I tend to drink a lot of soda, so I've built up a lot of cans. I was going to cash them in at the bottle drop soon. There was more than just my cans missing from the shed, though. I was missing some gardening tools, a machete, and a gas can. I went to check my security cameras, and early in the morning, right after I left for work, I saw my three nephews break into my shed using a hammer to smash the lock, and taking the cans as well as other stuff. I called my sister, and she and her husband both denied, saying their kids would never do that, till I showed up at the house with footage from my cameras. They were furious with their kids for robbing me and skipping school to do it. I got the other stuff back. The gas can was emptied though, of course, but they already cashed all the cans. I wanted the money from the cans, and my nephew had already spent it on video games and junk food. I demanded to know how much they got for the cans, and it was nearly $200. I told my sister she now owes me over $200 for the cans and broken padlock. My sister and brother-in-law went from being angry at their kids to making excuses for them, and then being angry at me for wanting that money back, when I know they have 3 kids and a mortgage. I said it was either that or I go to the police and press charges. They told me to get the heck out, and I said they have 2 days to decide how to pay me before I go back to the cops. My nephews are thieves and have stolen from me before. That's why I got the cameras. What my nephews did was most definitely wrong, but I also know my sister and brother-in-law can't really afford to pay me back. And they're blowing up my phone and calling me heartless for giving them the ultimatum, when I know they're nearly broke after the holidays. Am I the a-hole for doing that? Update. Well, I went to the police. I tried to work with my sister and brother-in-law when I called them this morning, because I did not want to wait till after they were done with work to speak with them. Not only did they refuse any sort of suggested way of repaying me, they actually said that it was my fault for having the cans there to begin with. They said I tempted my nephews with the money. I was enraged and said I was done with them. Then they started blowing up my phone all over again. My eldest nephew sent me a picture of him holding a soda can and giving me the finger. So that was it. I went to the police station and filed the report. Gave them a copy of the video footage of my nephew stealing from my shed. I gave them the broken lock that they smashed, showed them all the text messages which were screenshotted, and also gave them evidence of that. Hell, I even gave them the photo of my eldest nephew that he sent flipping me off. I don't know if my nephews have been arrested yet, but I'm assured they will be. Perhaps some community service will change their attitudes. I did tell the police that I found it worrisome that my nephews have taken the machete, but it was as I thought. They classified it as a tool, especially since they took a lot of other actual tools. Other than the machete, they also had some gardening shears, a steel rake, 2 shovels, one of them being one of those folding camping ones, a full gallon of 2-gallon gas, and a cheaper power drill I got for like $5 used, an electric hedge trimmer, and a small electric chainsaw that was also used. They did not touch the lawnmower, weed whacker, extension cords, or the old radio. No idea why they took what they did, but I guess they figured they could resell it or something. But I got all of that back, minus the gas that was in the gas can. No idea what they used it for, but it was old gas anyways. After they first broke into my shed, they took what they could hand and then came back with some shopping carts that I'm guessing they also stole. But it took them a few trips to get all the cans out, and they didn't bother to even try and close the doors when they were done. Either way, my nephews are now in trouble for trespassing, larceny, and harassment. I'm sure either today or tomorrow my phone's gonna be blowing up like a madman when the cops come for those kids. But I said it was my hill to die on, and I meant it. I don't even care if I get the money back now. They had their chance, and I've already replaced the lock on the shed with a much stronger one. And the machete will no longer be in the shed. I've also talked to a few of my neighbors about what happened. They told me cans have actually been gone missing around the neighborhood for a while. If anybody had a bag of cans sitting out, it was gone the next morning. Can't say if my nephews were the culprits, but if they were, they've been doing this for months. I've also spoken with my relatives, and they're fed up with my sister and brother-in-law too. So they're on my side at this time, at least, which is good to know. I was worried they'd turn on me since I filed the police report. But no, I just got a lot of, quote, good for you, and it's about damn time those kids face some swift justice. I wasn't the only one in the family they stole from. Many in the comments tried to say I should offer that my nephews work off the $200. There's no way I was going to do that. The little shits hate doing any work that they don't want to do, and will just stand around griping, acting like the world's against them. And they've been supervised the entire time, which is another thing I don't want to do. Plus, I banned them from my house for a good reason. The theft started with food and snacks and then went to DVDs and video games. That made me start putting my initials on cases and discs with permanent markers, so I was able to show when my nephews have taken something of mine. They tried the quote, "Oh, he let us borrow them" routine. Yeah, but I always called bullshit. And then made them return the stuff they took, which they always acted like I was a jerk for doing that. And then, when they were made to apologize to me each time, they were the fakest apologies I've ever heard. The final straw that banned my nephews from my house was when they used the spare hidden key to my house to get in and stole 3 6-packs of my favorite blood orange beer, along with raiding my kitchen for anything else. One of them took a dump in my bathroom and not only didn't flush it, but also intentionally peed on the floor. They tried to say it wasn't them, but I knew it was. The beer they stole was hidden in their rooms, and my sister and brother-in-law barely punished them and basically gave me an equivalent to "boys will be boys." Then berated me when I said they and their kids were no longer welcome at my home ever again. And that's all why I got the cameras. When I had them installed, I told no one, which was a very smart idea because my nephews had no idea they were there when they broke in. Guess I was their easiest target. When I can afford it, I plan to get more cameras for the house too. I don't blame OP at all for what he decided to do. It seems like the nephews need to learn a hard, valuable lesson as their parents aren't doing it. I'm going to read a comment that I found in the original post. It says, "Not the a-hole. Though I do think your nephews should be held responsible for paying you back. Sell the video games they got or return them. If they are old enough to steal, they're old enough to sell some of their stuff to pay you back for their behavior. Though, of course, your brother-in-law and sister should have expected that you'd want to be reimbursed, and they have no right to get angry at you if their children are actual criminals." I agree with that, and guys, there's a small update for this story coming up next. If you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button in case there's any more updates. Let's see what it says. Well, this is stupidly anticlimactic. I figured that my sister and brother-in-law were going to dig their heels in even deeper after the shit that's already gone down. But they actually caved. I filed a lawsuit against them in small claims for the actions of their kids. In the suit, I was asking for $500. This was the ones that they stole from the cans, destroyed the lock, and cost of the replacement lock, which was a much better and more expensive one. The cost of filing with the court and emotional damages for the harassment. A friend whose father is a lawyer gave me a free consultation and said I have a very strong case because of the camera footage. And I have both of my nephews stealing from me on that footage. And of my sister and brother-in-law pounding on my front door. Plus all the messages they sent me. When my sister and brother-in-law were served, they called me freaking out. They said I couldn't do this to them, so I retorted, and this is the price they're paying for not parenting their kids and letting them become entitled little thieves. And if they wish to speak to me again, it'll either be when I see them in court, or if they decide to pay me $500 I'm suing for. Then I hung up on them. Well, yesterday evening, I was having some friends over after work. We were just chilling out, watching a movie, and none of us were in the mood for video games, since we were tired from the day. And we just wanted a chill evening, but then, once again, I looked outside and there was my sister and brother-in-law, and they looked very unhappy. I opened the door but left the screen door shut. They asked them what they were doing at my house, and they told me they were tired of fighting because everyone is against them, and fully admitted how badly they effed up letting this go as far as they did, and just wanted to make peace. My friends were standing in full view behind me, so there were witnesses to this. Brother-in-law then slid an envelope through a crack in the door that contained $500 in 10 $50 bills. He said it was from his private savings account, then told me from now on they'll make sure my nephews are duly punished for their terrible actions. They did not ask me to drop the charges, but pleaded with me at least to be lenient. I said I was only pushing for community service, which is pretty lenient. And if we cooperate for that, then hopefully the judge will agree. They signed and said they would cooperate if that's all I wanted, then left without making any sort of a fuss. My friends all congratulated me on holding my ground firm. Others in my family later did the same. That's when I found out my parents that they actually threatened to disown my sister if she and her husband did not make some changes for the better. So now they are. It may be a forced change, but it's the best we'll probably see out of them. My mom paid my sister and brother-in-law a visit after they repaid me too. She told me that my nephews were not playing video games. In fact, every single video game related thing was put away somewhere. And so was the TV that my nephews would game and watch movies on. All three nephews were in their rooms most of the time and were very rude and unwelcoming to their grandmother. But my sister claims they're all dealing with the situation. So yeah, I've dropped the lawsuit for now that I've been paid and I don't need it anymore. But my nephews are still going to court for theft, and are now getting the parenting they should have been getting a long time ago. I've also been assured that they will not be coming near my house again anytime soon, and are strictly only to be either at school or at home. Well, I'm glad that it ended like this, and I'm glad OP finally got the money back. And it seems that brother-in-law and the wife are starting to turn things around for the better, and hopefully we can get another update for this story in some time to come. Some of the comments were saying, "Congratulations for getting your money back. Hopefully things go much better for you. I'd live an update in a year or so to see if it sticks, if you don't mind, of course." And OP replied by saying, "If I can remember to update, I will. But this is a throwaway account, so who knows. I'm gonna try to message this person and see if we can get an update. Guys, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and I'll catch you in the next video."